Hey everybody, Economic Ninja here. I hope you're doing great. Got a story out of Hedge. I want to talk about it. I think I've got a different take than most people are expecting on this, and it's entitled What China Savings Mean for World Consumer Firms. It says right here, investors are betting hard that China's reopening will boost earnings across the globe this year, with consumer industries likely to reap the largest windfalls. Having spent the 3 years under COVID confinement, consumers in the world's second largest economy now have more than $800 billion in excess savings that can be splurged on everything from shopping and dining to travel. That bodes particularly well for Asian neighbors that rely on China for trade and tourism receipts, as well as for luxury brands in Europe. Now let me stop right there. So when America woke up and was able to go outside and live somewhat normally, we saw extravagant spending, right? So first we saw extravagant spending online, where the government gave us stimulus checks, or whoever, that could have qualified for one, got a stimulus check, and then they spent it on the internet, right? Got things shipped to them. Then when the economy opened up, we saw lines out the door at Louis Vuitton and other kind of places, right? We saw excess spending in cars. So it would make sense that Americans would just start thinking, hey, that's gonna work over China, right? I don't think so. Let me go on. When the mainland Chinese come out, they are going to go to Hong Kong, Thailand, Korea, said Harold Van der Lind, Hong Kong-based head of Asia-Pacific Equity Strategy at HSBC Holdings. While regional airlines and hotels have likely priced it in, mall and supermarket operators, food and beverage distributors, and bank stocks in those countries aren't yet reflecting the earnings upside, he added. Let me keep going before I talk about it. It said the MSCI China's index members have seen about 10% increase in forward earnings estimates since end of October, leading upgrades in Asia. In China, HSBC's Van der Lind expects healthcare and consumer discretionary profits to grow by 61% and 40% in 2023, respectively. I do agree with that. It says right here, where's the Delta issue? Earnings calls so far have struck an optimistic tone. Delta Airlines said in its fourth quarter earnings that it expects to rebuild capacity in line with demand in China this year. Burberry, I don't even know how to pronounce that, Burberry Group, PLC, said while there is near-term uncertainty, accumulated savings and the government's push to boost domestic consumption mean the medium-term outlook is extremely positive. So let me stop right there. Like I said before, we saw a lot of this in America, where everything exploded, right? Everybody woke up, things started happening, people started spending. I think it's going to be a little different in China. Here, I think that we are all being very optimistic and thinking that China's going to open up and all of a sudden they're going to be blowing out things, going on vacations. I do believe that's going to happen. You're going to see tourism come back, but not to the point at what it was before. You see, I believe just like what happened in America, in Canada, and in Europe, a lot of people literally instantly woke up. They were on the internet. I know there's suppression over there on the internet, but they woke up to the fact that, oh my gosh, what's happening all around me? What do you mean I can get locked into my house and told I can't go to work? And what happened to a lot of Americans and Canadians and Europeans, they started to save. They started to pay off debt. They started to wake up. I'm going to be honest with you. I truly believe that is happening right now in China. I believe that you are going to see people wake up to the fact that things are not the same anymore. As a matter of fact, I used to tell these stories all the time where China, even before 2019, actually, I think it was like 2000, I don't remember what year. You guys have to put in the comment section, but they were putting up billboards. The government is actually putting up billboards around the country saying, buy gold, essentially, buy gold, and together we will be great. And they were actually informing their citizens the importance of owning gold. I think that you're going to see a lot of people go, we need to stop getting in debt, we need to get out of debt, and we need to save. And you're going to see that dramatically impact what people think right now is going to happen. Like, oh, everything's going to be great. China's going to start spending money and all of us, we're going to be saved. And that's not the case. I think it's actually going to be quite the opposite. So you are going to see increase in vacations. You're going to see people coming back to Disneyland. I mean, that's just really what's going to happen. But I do not think it's going to be nearly the numbers that you think. And I think that their economy is headed for a train wreck as well. Why? Because the government is still trying to grab all of the natural resources it can to feed what it wants to do, and that is become number one. And I want to make sure people understand this very clearly. Chinese people play the long game, whereas us in America can't really see a couple months into the future, let alone remember what happened a couple months in the past. And I think it's very, very important. If we start to underestimate those around us, we will lose very quickly. And I think that pride comes before a fall. In America's case, I believe that we have been prideful for way too long. Guys, I hope you got something out of this. I hope you have a great day. The Economic Ninja is out.